Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is Tanya Universe. I stream on Twitch on Tanya Universe. And I'm here with Schmoopydady. And we're gonna go through the meta a bit. And then we're gonna see which cards couldn't get nerfed and which cards couldn't. Hello, Schmoopy.
Going on, Tanya? For those that don't know who I am, my name is Schoopydady. I'm a monthly Hearthstone Wild Legend player who typically hits Legend the first of the month, and after that, I goof off playing chat decks and occasionally do guides and meta reviews.
So, in the meta in Diamond relation, we have Egg Warlock, Seedlog, Linessa, Paladin, Kingslayer. I don't know what this is doing here. And Discolog and something else. And in Legend we have Linessa Paladin, Linessa Libran Paladin at the top. Then for some reason big spell mage that I never seen a big spell mage in my life.
It's like
Uh,
one of the lower sample size things, I'd say. It's like they said it's only 9% of the
oh yeah, and
population, so yeah, it's
only
okay.
only 0.9%. Siglog
Yeah, yeah.
again, etc. Nasman is here too. And in Tom 5K, we have Nasmani, Seedlog again, Champions Druid, Burlock Pirate, and Champions again. And in top 1K, we have Nasmani, Champions again, and Champions again, and Shaman Highlander. And we're gonna look at some cards basically from Legend that maybe deserve a nerf or maybe not. I gave you a list. I added I added one card to the list. So we're gonna go through the cards right now.
Okay, sounds good.
First card, Cursed Catacombs. What do you think?
What do I think? Okay, so it's definitely a strong card. It's in its first version, I think, was a little bit too overtuned to wild since, we could directly take advantage of the discard aspect of it and turn that into a positive and make our, crazy turn one blowouts where my disco is dropping its Malkazar's imp and double cursed catacombs, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I've drawn a bunch of cards and also have a bunch of stats on board. In its current form, it feels kind of like Finley to me. Like it's a good card, it's a strong card, but it's also kind of skill testing while also being like good enough that it doesn't feel like I don't feel like I have lost games because of Cursed Catacombs, but it's still a strong card. So I think it's in a good spot. Where are you on it?
I've seen people play this card badly. and and it's always funny when they play bad this card. But I don't think it deserves an nerf. It's strong, but I think it fits wild.
Yeah, I think that's fair, right? Like it's good, it's useful, but it's not doesn't feel totally busted to me.
Okay, next card. Next card, Sacrificial Summoner.
How about you go first? What do you think about it?
What I think is that uh, this is not the problem. I don't think this is the problem, and I'm gonna go with the problem, and I'm gonna go with how to fix it next. But I don't think this is strong. This has been played in other archetypes like the Thaddeus. This can scam sometimes, but I don't think this is a problem with what we're dealing with right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fair, right? Like this is obviously has a couple of powerful interactions in Wild right now. You can use it on a was it an imprisoned horror, whatever that thing was called, the 4/4 is called, and you can summon out Thaddeus, or you can use this to go get Umbra off of destroying Egg of Kalos. But outside of that interaction, it's just kind of like this. You're right. I don't think addressing this addresses really the inherent problem. So I think we're aligned in that as well.
Okay, next card. Spirit Singret Umbra, which is totally not busted, by the way. Okay, what I'm really interested in what do you have to say about this.
I have been talked into by Ben from work into thinking this might be the thing that if you're gonna do something about Egg Warlock, which is a significant part of the meta, if you're gonna do something, you probably do something about Umbra. Knocking her to 5, um, maybe it's a band aid. Some people would just completely nuke the card and make it play and not summon. I think that's probably also maybe kind of prudent. I guess right now I'm on the knocker to 5 camp, but I think the really, really safe thing is to change to play. What do you think?
I don't think this is the problem. I think this is a card that it has enabled some scams, but I don't think this is the problem, and I think the next card is the problem. Okay, I think the problem is actually this card, the Egg of Kelos, and I think this is a simple nerf, and I think this should go to 4, and that's it.
Oh,
That's the whole. That solves everything.
huh. I have I've seen remove taunt off turtle. I don't think I've seen move egg to 4. Do I like egg to 4? So you still want egg dropping down. Okay, so they tempo out. It delays it a turn.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just processing this. Delays it a turn. You still need 5 mana to do Umbra in a single spell. Well, in theory you could do 4, but the high roll would be coin egg into like Umbra 0 cost. It could work. I think it might be another band-aid. You know what I mean? Like if Umbra still has the same text that she has, then future proofing that interaction, because I think that interaction of Umbra making infinite eggs into, even if you get rid of an egg, it's now printing an extra either egg token or an extra 2020 with taunt, um, becomes an issue. What do you? Okay, so go ahead. You defend your position on this being moving it to 4 because I've thought about it through a little bit. Tell me a little bit more what you're thinking.
Okay, I think this solves the interaction with Umbra and the summoner at the same time and delays one turn, and but it doesn't solve the Umbra issue of summoning infinite eggs by turn 5, I guess, right? So
Yeah.
it will be like at least one more turn for every deck to seize, I guess against this. Um, Maybe it's a band-aid, like
Which
you
could be fine.
say, could be fine.
But it does like that's that one turn. I mean, I find like a lot of aggro decks like Burnlock are one turn off of egg, um, which is why I thought like maybe removing the taunt aspect off the egg so that it doesn't completely negate board when it comes down, or just get rid of Umbra entirely, just so that we don't have interactions like this while also removing this interaction. But I don't like if you want to make it so that you don't kill the deck, you just love tap it. I really like that change actually. I hadn't even thought of that one before.
I mean, okay, I think Umbra is fine. I think Eokelos is fine. I think I mean no, wait. I think Umbra is fine. I think the Summoner is fine. I don't think the egg is fine. And if this is goes to 4, the Summoner just doesn't work with Umbra, and you don't have 3 Umbras in the deck. You just have 1,
That's true.
and that is
Yeah.
that is
You know.
important. So yeah, I think I like it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You've sold it on me somewhat. I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. I don't want to delete the taunt or Umbra, but I would be open to that.
Okay,
That's a nerf I hadn't thought of.
okay, maybe delete the taunt because the taunt is freaking annoying. But also go make this 4, and you only have 1 Umbra.
I think you leave the taunt if you do the egg to 4. I
Yeah,
think you could
you
sort of
leave it.
safely do. I think you could, in the short term, yeah. I think in the short term, I think you could leave it because I think again delaying that pop off one entire turn is like right now the right cadence for Wild. It's whether or not you're delaying it by a turn, and like you said, you're only running one copy of Umbra in the deck.
Okay,
I think that's cute.
okay, yeah. Okay, I sold it to you. Nice. Okay, next card. Spire Merchant. What do you think about a nerf to this card?
I think this is a card, while the effect is very strong, makes for interesting deck building decisions. The fact that it's your highest cost card means that you could use this in a really greedy deck to get 2 copies or access to a card that you would normally only have 1 copy of. Like if you're doing like a Reno deck, or let's say you're just like looking for extra resources. I think it's really interesting in aggro decks where you try to figure out, okay, exactly how high do you want to go on your curve. That becomes an interesting deck building decision. I think it being on the floor, being a death rattle on the board, it's vulnerable to disruption. It's vulnerable to being stolen or transformed or silenced. I think it's fine and fair. I don't think anything has to happen to Expired Merchant because I think it makes the game better existing in its current state.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I think I agree. I don't think I see a problem with Spire Merchant as it is right now. Okay, next. Tachyon Barrage. Deal 6 damage
Decent.
split among all enemies. This is basically Spire Merchant with the barrage on top without needing to have 2 cards. I don't know why they printed this as it is. Um, it is really strong. I don't know what else to say.
Would you nerf it?
Will I never? Mm, maybe 1 point of damage.
You'd put to 5. So you're not convinced you want to nerf it, and you want to give it a little love tap. I think it is strong. I think it's weaker than I thought it would be. I thought we would see disco locks everywhere, just running as many like, hey, let's spray damage as much as you want. Um, Copies in the deck, and that really never happened. It doubles as like good anti aggro and good offensive in one card. It is a 2 mana fireball, but like you are the shreds kind of don't have a downside, but if you play with the card long enough, you realize they kind of do. You can't pack too many shreds into your deck without any healing. I think it's fine right now. I think it's fine as is. I think if we had a card in the future that somehow, let's say, doubled the effect, right, and like doubled, like you're dealing 12 while also shuffling in four shreds or something, and like again, you just ignore the shreds because that's really not a downside as long as you're not drawing too many cards. Um, yeah, I could see it in the future being a problem, but I think right now it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you convinced me. It's okay. Okay, next one. Chrono Close. This is a new one, and it's been seen play, and I think it's strong.
Oh yeah, no, it's the best card from the mini set, and on top of that, I think kind of like Merchant, it's actually been very interesting how we build around this card because it's so totally transformed the sort of aggro, disco, burn lock axis. If this existed while disco was at its height, I think it would be a candidate to get nerfed. But I think with everything standing as they are, it's fine, especially being as new as it is. I don't see any reason to get rid of it now. Like I think if you really want to hit Burnlock, it's a different card than this one. Um, this card's actually kind of cool. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a cool car. I gotta be honest, and I gotta say it's giving me lethal against egg, where I casted a barrage from my hand, and the other one I went face to the egg to the to the 2020, and I had lethal with the other barrage in my hand.
Oh, feels great. Love when that happens.
Yeah, I think this cat is cool. But we're gonna see the next one, and this is probably a, a contested one. Be-
This one's so tough. Yeah.
This is Soul Barrage, and it has been played for all time, I will say, coupled with the Spider Merchant, of course, but
Sure.
also on its own or with the location that discards or with Chrono Close, like I said right now.
Or sketch artist. Sketch artist
A
has been
sketch
like the
artist.
focusing on just sketch artist into barrage has basically spawned a brand new deck as an idea all on its own. Yeah.
Yeah, this is way too much damage, I think, for my taste. And maybe it's not too much damage, but the fact that you can get multiple of this is way too much. So I think
Uh,
maybe touch something there.
I, this is like the hardest card for me to nerf because I think anything you do to it kind of kills it. I was a fan of killing it back when Disco was good the last time. I thought Soul Barrage getting printed was a little bit of a mistake. Yes, it's 5 mana deal six, but in reality, it's 0 mana deal six a lot of times, or at least it feels like that, depending on which interaction you're really triggering. Um, if we made it the same effect, but it had only minions,
No,
is that good enough to run on purpose? Or is it just another Sea Breeze Chalice where it's actually a side grade and we end up playing it in the control deck in some capacity? Um, do we make it 4 mana deal five? And now that makes it harder to hit with Merchant, but also kind of kills the card. Like you're not hitting it with Merchant anymore, but now are you just topping out your burn lock lists at four and running fists and cutting merchants? And I don't know, it makes it harder to do and it reduces the damage and maybe that's the route they take. I don't know. This is a tough card to nerf, I think, because I think if you go after it, you kind of have to kill it. But I don't know the best way. There's some really easy ways to kill it, but I don't know any interesting ways to keep it alive and still have it doing the thing. What do you think?
okay, this is I think my biggest problem with this is the amount of copies you can have. So maybe some way to limit the copies. I don't know how. I cannot really. Maybe twice per game. I don't
Oh yeah, new text. Yeah, they're gonna do new text just for this. No, I hear what you're saying though. Like it's just the fact that it's so many over and over again, which is where like tapping it for one damage or two really does impact the card because again, how many copies are being played? It will help. It will definitely reduce reduce the overall effect.
I don't know. I don't know how you will nerf this. I think that if you go to all minions, you kind of kill it in aggro, and if you lower the damage, maybe 1 point or two, maybe it's kind of fine.
5 mana to deal four feels so bad. I mean, I know it's not how you're like meant to play it, but
5 mana
feels
did
bad.
4. Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, it kind of kills him. I don't wanna
It's so
kill it.
tough.
I don't wanna kill it, but it's too much.
They
I
might have to, and
they
if they do, I think Burnlock is cooked.
yeah. I think we'll live with that. If they touched it, then Warlock is cooked basically. Okay, another one. Blood Bloom. I think this card should be nerfed, and I think it should go to something like 6 or something like that. I think Borlock is way too annoying and it's a sentiment uh, nerf.
That's
And
fair.
yeah, I think just getting rid of Borlock, touching this is will be fine for me.
I find um I'm okay. I don't like Elwynbor, and we'll talk about that later for sure. I don't like Elwynbor. I don't think it's a card that should exist. I don't think we need to nerf Borlock per se, if only because you can beat it by hitting it in the face. And what's nice about Blood Bloom's design is it does give you a ceiling at which it gives you a floor that if you reach the floor, they can't do the funny, right? Like if you get your opponent to 8 health, they cannot do the funny anymore because their spells are going to cost too much. They would have to do some sort of discounting. I'm kind of okay with Blood Bloom where it is right now. I think that a turn 6 combo in Wild is I probably still fair. I think that part's kind of fine. I like that it limits health, and that's fine. I would not nerf Blood Bloom. However, if you told me that they'd tap it to sit to 5, um, or if they tapped it to 6, would I be super surprised? No. You could say it's future proofing, right? Because this could be a spell that continues to be a problem going forwards. Possibly if they ever make more high impact spells in Warlock. We sort of saw this with Wheel, right? Like we were blood blooming into Wheel,
Yeah,
and then that wasn't a good deck. That wasn't a good deck, but that's something that unique that we could do in Wild. Was like, okay, let's turn 4 Wheel and see how this goes. So I wouldn't now. If you told me they did, I wouldn't cry.
okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, next one. Edwin Bar. So I heard you say that you like your meme cards be meme, and this is supposed to be a meme, but it's very real. And I've seen it. We've seen it in Priest before, and now we see it in Warlock Wars. And I want to hear you what you say.
Okay, so again, for anybody who hasn't heard me rant about this in the past, I like my meme cards to be meme. I feel like this card was designed to be a meme, and the problem is it's too easy to complete, so it's not a meme anymore. Ellen Bohr should never be meta. If it's meta, it's toxic, and it's the kind of card I wish they didn't design. That's so easily broken, but again, they're not designing any card with wild in mind whatsoever. If you think that they're considering wild whatsoever, they've said out loud they don't consider wild. So, um, how I would nerf this, I think the number could be fine. You could stick with 7. I'm okay with a 15-3 weapon. Let me keep my mana crystals. That would be probably what I would end up doing. Deck wouldn't be meta. You'd still get most of the original feel of the deck as far as the dealing a lot of damage and ending the game quickly after killing the boars. But then I still have some counterplay to the strategy, which I think would significantly increase the amount of patience you can have for the deck. If this, let's say, was good, at least if I have my mana crystals, I have some counterplay. What do you think?
I didn't think of that, but that's a good idea actually. Not get, get actually having the mana crystals to fight back is pretty good. I was thinking something like maybe 9 boards have to die instead of 7. 7 is just good is enough for the full board, and I think 8 is enough for one before and then the full board. So I think 9 is a good number for this, and then
I could see 9.
we'll still see play. I think at least in priest.
So you would leave the mana crystals, but just make it 9 boars in theory.
Yes, uh, yes, because
Yeah. Okay.
I think that the mana crystals is the part of the flavor, and locking up your opponent. The sword does that basically. Yeah, I think you pump up the number, but I like your idea too.
Yeah, I hate the card. It's a card I wouldn't mind them killing, honestly. More than some other cards. But somebody will say, "No, my funny," but your funny's too good. Your funny is supposed to be funny, and it's not funny anymore.
Okay, next card. Um, this card I put it here because Libram popped up a couple of times, and I was thinking about
Mhm.
some cards that could see maybe a nerf about Libram, and I was thinking about this card because it's it's too much draw for 0, and on top of the buff. I think it's too much. Maybe you touch something about this. Maybe you pump up the mana. Maybe you take out the buff. I don't think the buff is relevant, to be honest. I think the fact that this goes to 0 is the problem. What do you think?
Well, in order for it to go to 0, you have to have enough enablers to make it 0, and you have to build the deck in a way where you get your enablers easily, and you have to mulligan correctly to get the enablers easily. This isn't the card that actually annoys me about Libra and Paladin because I'm kind of okay with we've got some messed up draw cards. We've got Beanstalk. We've got mass production. We got some pretty crazy draw cards. This is kind of tame compared to even something like Beanstalk. But um, if you did want to hit Libram Paladin, I think the part of Libram Paladin that annoys me the most is the Libram of Divinity is giving Libram Paladin so much gas for so long. I think that's the card I would probably hit more than this card. However, it's funny that this card was on your list as something that popped up, if only because I could see it probably getting nerfed before Divinity because of standard reasons. I don't know if they run this card or how easily it is to reduce it to zero in standard or if it gets close, but it strikes me as like one of those cards where it's like it's doing enough, it has enough keywords. If it ever becomes easy to make zero in standard, it would definitely see a standard nerf. It would probably get nerfed for standard reasons. So I wouldn't nerf it. At the same time, I don't think it's crazy to nerf it, especially if you're thinking about another format.
Okay, yeah. Okay, next card. Libran of Divinity. So this goes to zero. You can play two, maybe more, and it buffs your minions, and you kinda steamroll from there, and you have infinite health and attacking your minions, and you kinda win.
Yeah, I get sometimes you win. It definitely gives Librams a lot of gas into especially some slower strategies, which again is not like always that's not always toxic or always the worst thing in the world, but it is hard to play against. Do I think this needs a buff? Or excuse me, do I think it needs a nerf? I'm gonna say no, but I won't cry if it does. What do you think about it?
I think I won't cry either because I this is this is way too strong. Especially with something that we're gonna see next that I added. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't cry. Okay, next card, and this one is Sansa Perlinesa. So this gives you double the Libram that you doubled the turn before with this. So now you have 8 probably. And then you have double double cold feet and maybe something else. This is um this is a car for sure.
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine?
I think it's okay. I think it's okay for us to have good cards. I think it is very snowbally. You could dampen the effect, I guess, and keep it as a tourist. But I like the idea of. I do like some of the Linessa Paladin gameplay patterns, especially like in Wild the More Chinese list where you're double showdowning and double beaming and then double vigiling and just doing some fun stuff along those lines. I think it's fine.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were gonna be against this. To be honest,
Nah, go ahead.
I kind of want to see something dumb to this, but I don't know what. Maybe uh, they they shouldn't. The ones that cost zero don't double or something like that.
What if you made it? What if you made her seven? Is seven high enough? Like, so she's not coming down on turn five. And in theory, if they've had like the absolute nut draw, they're blowing you out.
Okay,
Would you
that
have to like? Would you just make the same effect later in the game? Is that more acceptable?
yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, yeah.
In wild parlance, like oh man, Lanessa turn seven, and Torino turn eight is like kind of a natural counter of what ends up happening a lot in the meta. Like, so either she is the GGs or she is just like, but it's not starting the nonsense so early. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. If you do, I wouldn't, but if you're hell bent on doing so, I think maybe that's how you would do it.
Um, yeah, yeah. I would like you say. I wouldn't cry about this. Get in touch.
No.
Okay, next one. So this is a juicy one. That's Money Blood Weaver. this has been in the meta for a while. It's been strong every single time, almost, if I remember correctly, and it's seen play in almost every combo deck that I can think of. Ah,
Yeah, kill it. I would get rid of it. I would get rid of it. The way I'd get rid of it, because it's just like you can have somebody going first and kill you on turn three with Nazmani. We had our funny with it. The easiest way I think to get rid of the really oppressive tier one deck is to make it cost four, so that when you go to bring it back with, I forget what that one mana card is called, that brings back something that costs three or less. If you just take it out of that pool or ineligible to be brought back for one mana, that's a substantial nerf to the deck, to the point where it's not only much slower, but it also is has to wait until more. It can't just tempo out its girl on three and then just bring it right back on four into full combo. It would have to go through a few more hoops than just that. The resurrection spells would have to cost one more. You'd probably just use like, resurrection, um, which means that you would have had to reduce some copying effect by a mana also to just go right off on four. It just there's enough hoops to jump through that I'm comfortable leaving her there.
okay, yeah, I that's a good nerf to go to make it four. It's a good nerf. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is really oppressive try when they're gonna revive it. So yeah, going to four will kill it enough, I think. Okay, next
I'm good
one.
with that.
So light speed. This is a new one. They can get it to zero with the previous card, and I would like this to be nuke, basically.
Oh, they give it echo. You give it echo, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Echo. Yeah.
File this under Healthstone, as far as like cards that are super impactful and wild, with all the synergies that we have there, and we're not designed at all with wild in mind. This is the card that got Radiant Elemental killed, which you could make a good argument that like that was a good thing for the wild meta. But Combo Priest was really fun to play. But this is silly. If they don't, I think they eventually have to give this echo or nuke this in some way, because I think eventually something is going to break it.
Okay, yeah, I agree with all you said. Yeah, this card is too much. Okay, next one and last one. Elise, we know they're gonna touch Elise. We don't know how. We can make some juicy predictions. We can make some juicy predictions.
I really don't want to. I don't want to touch Elise. I think she adds a lot to Wild, especially on the Highlander deck building side. How it's really fun. She's a really fun like deck building puzzle, trying to figure out, okay, what's my zero going to be, so that I'm 0 through 9. What's my 10 going to be? What's my 8? What's my 9 going to be? Especially in our format where we have to figure out, the best of a bad situation a lot of times. Um, I'm gonna go with, on the 5 mana location, 4/4 copy Savage Roar. It's a Savage Roar right now, right? It's +2.
Yes.
Uh, I wonder if it's like -1 damage from all options, and you just remove the 1 damage option entirely from the 1 mana location, and minus a raptor as well, which might kill the card, But that's like some combination of that. I think is going to be how she ends up getting touched for standard reasons. Because right now, standard's in a really funny spot where it's like the game kind of lives and dies based off of Grifta and or Elise discovers, and I'm just basically naming the most powerful discoverers as they occur in standard, as far as I know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the car is fun. When deck building, you gotta figure your 8, your 9, your 10, maybe your 12. I've seen some Astral running this, and it's fun in Astral. You can go for the 10 even after Astral.
Yeah,
It's really
that is
good.
true.
Uh, I think it's fun to play this. I think they're gonna touch the Raptors. I think they're gonna touch maybe the Savage Roar. Uh, Maybe the spell discount is a bit too much. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I find the spell discount's like an okay option in Wild, but never strikes me as like oh man, this is something I really want to do. It's kind of like, well, this is the last option. I'm gonna try to get something.
yeah, I think most of all the Raptors and the Savage Roar are the ones that are too oppressive right now. I don't think the armor does anything, and the other options are basically non-existent.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I don't know.
yeah, do you want to say something?
No, no, no. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be sad when she gets nerfed. Hopefully it's not too bad where she's unplayable in
Let's
Wild.
let's hope it's not unplayable because I will be sad. I will be sad dusting this.
I
Okay,
agree.
so to sum up, let's go. Cursed Catacombs, no.
No for me.
Sacrificial Summoner, no.
Nope.
Spirit Singer Umbra,
I would be a yes.
okay. Yeah, I will say yes to yes. Eokelos,
I would say either if you get Umbra, no. If you don't get Umbra, yes.
I will say yes. Merchant, no.
No.
Tachyon Barrage, no.
Nope.
Chronoculus, no.
Nope.
Soul Barrage, no. Or maybe, I don't know.
I,
How?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes?
I'm gonna say yes. I think it's time. I don't know how, but I think it's time.
Okay. Yes, and then Blood Bloom, I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say no.
Elwin Board, yes.
Yes. Sure.
Libra of Clarity, no.
I'll say no as well.
Libra of Divinity, no.
I'm no as well, but I won't be sad.
Okay. Linessa, I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say no.
And Asmani Blood Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Lightspeed, yes, please.
Yes. Yes.
And we know Elise is to get in touch, so that's basically it. Okay,
Light touch. Light touch, please.
do you wanna put your plug here, please? Maybe I should have done that.
Sure. Yes.
Maybe I should have done that at the beginning. Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, no. If you want to see more of my content with Tanya in my chat on occasion, I usually stream at Twitch. I'm along a little bit of a enforced hiatus right now, but I'm usually streaming on Twitch, and I make daily wild content on YouTube.
And for the last thing, so we're a week removed, more or less, from something big happening. Do you have any predictions at all?
Ooh, I think they do something about Egg and Burnlock. I would hope at the same time they do something about Nazmani, but it's funny how the population of Nazmani has largely gone down, trended downwards because people have gotten bored of the deck and drifted away from it. But Burnlock sort of being, along with Disco Lock, very, very popular in the format to the point where if you combine the two of them together, it's almost one in every 5 games. That's usually the kind of number where they go and they hit something just because it's too popular. And I think Egglock is just an unhealthy pattern of play. I think they probably get that too.
Okay, yeah, I think they're gonna touch something about egg and something about born. I don't know about Nansmani. Maybe they haven't done anything at all until now, so I don't trust that. But I would like seeing that nerf. And that's basically it. And thank you for watching the video. If you like it, give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.